I don't believe in ghosts. I find them irrational, impractical, and illogical. And while I consider myself open-minded, I also consider myself rational, practical, and logical. So, with that in mind, this is my ghost story. In middle school and high school, I had a friend named Kristen, whose nickname was Sunshine because of her smile. This bright smile and this blue-eyed blonde, very pretty and just positive and cool. And I and all of my friends fell for her at one time or another. None of us dated her. But we did become friends. So much so that when our French class went to France, Kristen ended up in all my pictures. And nobody questioned that because that smile and like the Eiffel Tower, it's like the French tourism board had commissioned my photos. I did end up dating Kristen's younger sister, Shannon. And we went out until I left for college, and I was going across the country, and she was still in high school, so we partied amicably and stayed close, and I stayed close with the family, and saw them over the holidays, over the summer, and it was in my sophomore year that I got a call in the middle of the night from Shannon. It was 3 a.m. my time, so 6 a.m. her time, and I picked up the phone, and she said, "I don't have a sister." And that's how I found out that Kristen had been killed that night by a drunk driver. A senior in our old high school. This douchebag went out and got ripped and went barreling down this road, well over the speed limit. T-boned her car as she was coming out of a housing development. Broke her neck, killed her instantly. She literally never knew what hit her. He walked away, physically and in basically every other way. No major repercussions there, so justice. I went home and spoke at the funeral, and I was a pallbearer. And I remember going back to the house, to the room that Kristen and Shannon would share, where they had these glow-in-the-dark stars all over the ceiling. And I lay there with Shannon on the floor, and we looked up at the constellations, and she cried, and I held her, and then I went back to school and back to life. But not completely. I was there, but I was not present. I went to class, but I was on autopilot. I ate, I slept, and that was it. I pushed all my friends away. I was just an ass to them. I was a resident advisor. I was completely useless to my residents because I just put up these icy walls. Because I was very, very busy being angry all the time. And I just had this like white-hot ball of rage in my gut. That was my engine. It was like this furnace. And I would fuel it with fantasies of killing that kid. The little fucker who killed my friend. Who was a better person than he could ever hope to be. And she was gone, and he was here, and that was fucked up. And I wouldn't just think of him dead. It was me killing him, like my hands around his throat. And it was going to be slow, he was going to suffer, and he would look at my eyes and know why. And so I went around like that for weeks. And it was not getting better, and I don't know where it would have gone if I hadn't had a dream of a high school party. I was at this party with a cup of Coke, because I'm a drinker, and friends here, friends there, friends across the room, Kristen among them. But she wasn't engaged with them, she was looking at me. And the instant we locked eyes across the room, I knew it was a dream. And I'm not a lucid dreamer, but I knew that this was a space where we had come together because she had something to say. And then she didn't say anything. But she smiled. That big smile, and when she did, I knew that she was okay, and that she wasn't suffering, and that she wasn't in pain, and she wasn't sad, and she wasn't angry. And if she didn't need to be angry, I didn't need to be angry. And this wasn't like permission to stop being angry. This was a directive, it was an instruction. It was, knock it off, you're done. And when I got that, I knew it was time to wake up, and so I did. And as I lay there in my bed, I just felt like every muscle in my body unclench, and my gut unknotted. And I took the first deep breath it felt like I'd taken in weeks. And when I reached down to start that engine, my habit in the morning to get that anger going, there was nothing. There's just a void. And in its place, I felt this rush of just warmth and peace and contentment and happiness. I was happy because she was okay. So, rationally, practically, and logically, I know that that was me talking to me. My brain talking to itself. You know, a damaged psyche, doing some triage to keep from going completely to pieces. And I love stuff about the brain, and I love reading about it, and all those strange ways that we twist, contort, and delude ourselves about reality around us so that we can function on a daily basis without going insane. So that stuff boggles my mind, I love it. And that's why I know, rationally, practically, and logically, I know that that was me. I know it was not Kristen. I know it couldn't be Kristen. And I know that it was. And that's my ghost story.